Winterplace Resort. You might be wondering, what triggers them to turn on the snow guns? Okay, the temperature is 32 degrees, let's turn them on. They actually go through a rigorous process with the weather forecast to determine when to turn those snow guns on so they can build snow on that mountain. 24 hours ago, we were at Winterplace. The snow guns were on. The snow was flying. On this Thursday, a different story. The mountain is covered in snow, but look, none of these snow guns are on. So what is the threshold that they use to determine if the snow guns will be on during the season?
Well, we need it to be 32 degrees, right? That's the bare minimum. So 32 degrees wet bulb.
So what exactly is wet bulb? We will define that answer as we go outside. All right, so on this Thursday afternoon, our air temperature on the Kestrel reads 54 degrees. That is the average movement of the molecules, obviously warmer than the past couple of days. Now I'm going to scroll through so you can see what the wet bulb temperature is. It is 42 degrees, so about 12 degrees colder than the air temperature. This temperature is what it would be if it started to precipitate right now. Now, if it did, obviously 42 degrees means it would all be rain. The general manager said that they like to have the wet bulb temperature anywhere from 30 degrees or colder. That means the moisture coming out of these snow guns will produce that mist and lots of snow that would cover the mountain more efficiently. Then let's say that wet bulb 32 degrees. That snow would be large and clumpy and wouldn't be as manageable for the ski resort operators and would not effectively cover the mountain with snow. So that is what the wet bulb temperature is, and we will continue to track that over the winter time for the ski resorts in our region. The colder the temperatures are, the same volume of water will produce more snow, correct?
Correct. And then the colder the temperatures become, the more water we can add to create more snow for that production value.
So what would you say, how many hours of ideal snowmaking weather conditions are needed for your team to trigger the snow guns to turn on?
We like to see a solid, 6 to 8 hour window to make production and, the energy efficiency and the cost piece of it. So like a 6 to 8 hour window is what we're looking at, and then we'll pull the trigger and go for it.
Chief Meteorologist Chad Merrill reporting for Newswatch.
And I bet you a lot of people watching learned something as well, this wet bulb thing.
Yeah, the wet bulb temperature. Yeah, meteorologists track that very closely. Now, here's a way to compare it. When you step out of the shower, you get cold.
Yep.
That's because the moisture is evaporating. So in the wintertime, when the precipitation starts in the clouds, it actually evaporates before it reaches the surface, before it finally the atmosphere moistens up. So it's the same process. Evaporative cooling is what it's called. It cools the air to the wet bulb temperature, and that determines the type of precipitation.
And that's why it has to be cold enough, otherwise nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like comparing a wet snow to a dry snow.
Yeah.
We get a wet snow, 32 degrees is really clumpy. But if we get a dry snow, that means it's fluffy and it spreads around a lot.
And that's what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, very interesting. You did a great job with that. I think a lot of people learned how this works. It's not easy.
Yeah, there's a lot of prep work and a lot of monitoring during the season for them.
No doubt. That does it for Newswatch at 5. Thank you so much for tuning in.